Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? I'm Michael. You're watching Eclecticka, everything sci-fi, fantasy. That's right, your geek media. We have, as always, Michael the Knight Chusa. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
I'm good. I see that we have a special guest. What's going on?
Her name is Chrissy Fellmeth.
Yeah.
And she is excited for fanfare. She's excited to be here. Mm-hmm. So welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about your life and everything that you do.
That's a long story.
Your life!
I'm an artist and animator. I lived in Brooklyn for 12 years, but I just moved to Queens, so now I'm not in Brooklyn anymore. But I've been working in New York as an animator for about 12 years now. I've worked on shows for Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Netflix, Amazon, Nickelodeon, and I make my own shorts in my free time sometimes.
Awesome. What shows on Nickelodeon?
Oh my goodness, it was so long ago. It was a show called Kappa Mikey.
Oh, yeah.
It was my first job, and then I worked on a show called, it was right when the new Street Racer movie remake came out. We made Street Racer The Next Generation.
Oh.
And that was a Nickelodeon show too, but yeah.
Cool.
That was a long time ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you planning to do at fanfare and the event?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do an animation demo, so I'm going to show you how I use Adobe Animate, the program, to make my own character designs and animations, and I'll be glad to chat with you and answer any questions you have about what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any projects that are on the horizon right now for you?
Right now I'm about to start working on Nico in the Sword of Light season 2 for Amazon. But I'm just jumping off of a project for Adult Swim that premieres in April. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything about it, so I won't.
So look at Adult Swim on April.
Yeah.
And just watch Adult Swim nonstop, and then you'll eventually see the show.
I could say if you're a fan of Super Jail, it is Christy Caracas, the Super Jail. It's his new show. So if you like that, you'll like the new show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What have you found when you've been working on all these shows? What kind of lessons do you think you can, let's say a student walks up to you and asks you about your career and everything, what kind of lessons can you tell the student from your experiences?
I mean, collaboration is absolutely key. You definitely have to be able to work with people. As good as your ideas are, somebody else's ideas are probably just as good. And I feel like collaborating really helps you take something that's good and make it great. You also have to be willing to listen to direction, criticism, and take it in stride. You know, it's not that you're a bad artist, that, nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Collaboration is such a hard. It can be a very divisive concept in the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael and I have been working on all sorts of things, and it's just always it's a lot of hard work. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, the hardest part is interesting. When you start, first you have an idea, then you're like, well, how am I going to get it done? And then you get it done. But it seems like the hardest part, especially for a lot of independents, is once you have it completed, now what? Who do you go to?
Right.
These magical doors that everybody wants to walk through. What's your best advice on that? Like, how do you even find the doors?
I mean, for specifically getting into the field, or
the field, or even
getting your own short scene.
Yeah, or getting into Netflix, Hulu, NBC, HBO, whoever. Like, what would your best advice be?
Meet people. It's very much a word of mouth kind of industry where it's half of how good you are as an artist and half who you know. It's not like you're rubbing elbows with bigwigs or anything, but make friends, and it's not hard to do that because everybody's just as nerdy and weird as you are. So,
That's debatable.
but for like making your own shorts, there's tons of film festivals. There's YouTube, which is such a huge thing now, and like self-promotion. Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is a great way to get your work out and to have more people see it. And the more people that see your stuff, the more people are going to see it and want to hire you to make something. And always keep working.
So let's take a step back with the making something. I guess this would be a sample of character design?
Yeah. That's like, I can't even remember the project for this now. It was a long time ago. We needed a mad scientist character, and I was given like a base guideline of what they wanted, and I just gave several samples to be like, this is what he could look like, or this is what he could look like. Some of them are unfinished, some of them are totally finished. Different line treatments. That's all like pre-production development character design stuff. Which is my favorite part.
And then I guess this would be a sample of they already picked something and now you do the different.
That was for my very first film that I made, so I picked it. That's probably from 2005. Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind that?
My first film was about me and my first cat. So it was me and my first cat. I think you can tell because that doesn't look like me anymore, but it's been a long time.
Well, that's interesting because in a situation where you're basically calling all the shots because your vision, your idea, and then you executing, how do you decide what's best and right? I mean, do you have like an outer body experience and then you become like that the producer, stop doing that, no, you have to do this? Like, how do you make those decisions?
I thankfully have a very awesome group of friends who are more than willing to help me out on any film production that I'm trying to make. I have countless meetings with them over scripts, storyboards. I'm always seeking feedback because I feel like I'm trying to please the most amount of people. So why not try to like get a lot of people in the beginning stages and see what they think? Because if they already don't like it, then who's gonna like it besides me? So I have my good friend is my producer, and she kind of cracks it up.
Did you go to film school?
I went to School of Visual Arts for animation, and I graduated 2008.
And have those contacts been people that you've stayed in touch with? Like, are those your strongest contacts per se, or just a really good group that you still talk to?
Some of them, yeah. A lot of people went to LA, so the New York scene is very small and close knit. But most of the people that I've become like really close in a working relationship are the people that I've worked with in the past and the people that I currently work with. But I do have my college friends. But a lot of them moved away. So yeah.
LA, New York, Atlanta, Vancouver, like those are the cities nowadays.
Yep.
So if you're looking to get into film, go there.
Yeah.
But it's a very...
Boston's kind of.
Boston's rising too?
Yeah.
Oh.
They have a little animation community there.
Yeah, Boston too.
Yeah.
Like there's so much, especially like I don't know if would you say shows like Walking Dead? I know it's not an animated show,
Right.
but I just think they have animators to an extent for like all these different special effects. What kind of skills? What kind of things do they apply for their job that you see and you're like, oh, I did the same thing, that like they do and you do?
I mean, I 99% of the time work 2D, which is like your traditional hand-drawn stuff. We don't use paper anymore, so it's still on the computer, but between like what I do and what visual effects artists do, there's not a lot of crossover. There's still a lot of artistic like ability needed. You probably have to paint a lot. I know like, you know, the texture painters, like that's a really fun job. But like I tried my hand at CG for a minute and it was too hard. Like I can't do this. It's far too much math and my brain just doesn't work that way. But you know, storyboarding and character design are two like very like beginning base level things for both of those that are needed. But yeah, visual effects is a lot different than 2D animation. But we do have like a little bit of crossover. Yeah.
Did you have any mentors?
Jeez. You know, I was fortunate enough that in my junior year of college I got an internship, and that's what led to me working on that Kappa Mikey show. The producer that was working there was like, "Hey, you want to take a test?" If you don't know anything about animation, taking a test means they give you an assignment for work. It's basically a work assignment, and they see how well you complete it. And if you can do what they need you to do, then you get hired. And if you don't do it just right, then they don't hire you. But she
That's
asked me,
simple.
right? Yeah. It's just like school, except you don't really get a grade. You just get a job or you don't. But she gave me a test. I took the test and I got the job doing prop and like minimal character design, which was basically like costume changes and things like that. But that, I feel like that whole experience working at that company was definitely like a big mentorship to me, because I had so many people, I didn't even know how to use the animation programs we were using. I barely understood it. But everybody at the company that I worked at was so willing to help me learn on the job, which I don't know where I would be if I didn't have that job, because I don't know how willing people are in general to like take time out of their work day and like teach you how to use the program that you should probably already know how to use. So yeah, like everybody that worked there was definitely like a big help and, you know, mentor to me. And it was an excellent experience. Yeah.
When you're in your early 20s or late teens, like in high school, people are very willing to open the door or talk to you about their job and everything. It's such a welcoming time for people to break into the industry. And what do you, so going to fanfare, what are your expectations of the event and of like the students?
I mean, I hope I get asked a bajillion questions, because I love to answer questions. I hope that, you know, I hope that the kids aren't like afraid to approach me with anything they want to talk to me about. I teach animation and I teach comic book classes once a semester out in New Jersey. So I really enjoy interacting with the kids and like getting them to see like how cool it is to do this stuff. You know, it's incredibly labor intensive, but you know, it's fun at the same time. So yeah.
What inspired you to be involved with fanfare? Like why? Why go to fanfare? Why are you going to that? Why are you doing this?
I mean, I want to inspire young kids to make art, you know. Do it for you, do it for your friends, but, you know, most of all, have fun doing it. Get that creative outlet that I feel like everybody needs. And yeah, get into it.
Yeah, and for anyone that doesn't know what fanfare is, fanfare con is not your normal con. It's not your normal comic book convention, because it actually I don't say actually has a purpose because then I don't want to be disrespecting all the other cons, but it does have a purpose of raising money for students that might not have the supplies, might not have all the money needed for everything that they need to create. And Fanfare has created an event to do that. So just in case anyone doesn't know what that is.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Did I do that well?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a call from Miss Adams. I'm gonna be like, no, you forgot to say it the right way. No, but it is awesome. We're happy to be a part of that journey to do that. But it was very interesting as a creative, even going to a lot of different events. Why do people go to this con? Why do they go to that one?
Right.
It's interesting to hear and some creatives favor other conventions more than others. So I was wondering if there's any tie between the school or the staff or just the idea that really motivates you.
It's hard. Specifically, like getting, pencils into kids' hands and giving them some kind of inspiration to do something themselves, I feel like that's extremely important for kids growing up, to have like some kind of outlet for them, and I think it's unfortunate sometimes when kids don't get that. Yeah.
When did you start?
Drawing?
Yeah.
Oh man, kindergarten. My mom actually, I was in kindergarten and my kindergarten art teacher gave us an assignment that was charcoal. You're in kindergarten, you can't draw that great. It's not like...
Speak for yourself.
You're not...
You're right, you can't do that.
I was in kindergarten. I was drawing like any kindergarten kid would. And my mom didn't know this part. The assignment was to shade part of it because we were using charcoal. And my mom thought I did that by myself. So my mom was like, she's an artistic genius. She signed me up for art classes. Not that I didn't like them, I loved making art stuff. It was fun, but, I was in kindergarten. I really didn't have like a necessary specific drive to be an artist at that point in my life. But, art from then on just became my outlet, and I drew all the time. I would doodle in school, not that you should. I would doodle in school. I'd come home and I'd draw. I took art classes constantly after school. I was in art class during school. I took Saturday classes at the University of Arts in Philadelphia. I lived it, I breathed it. I painted, I drew. I took game design courses, which were so hard. I took my first animation course when I was in 8th grade at a tiny little school in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It was just everything I did was art. I took sculpture. I tried my hands at everything. So yeah, it was a long journey.
Did you play any instruments?
I played the cello for about 2 years, and then I realized that thing was heavy, so I gave up.
Oh. You're a quitter!
In that instance, yeah, I couldn't cut it. I couldn't hack it with the cello player. But yeah,
It's
my
okay.
brother and my sister were the instruments.
You turned out well. It's okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have had an easier time being a cellist, but I feel like it's probably easier getting a job as an artist than it is as a musician. I don't know that for a fact, but
unless you're your mom.
right.
If you're your mom, you can. Then again, there's only one of those people.
Exactly.
So.
Or be a knockoff like Mama Yo or whatever.
Do you go to any other conventions?
I used to go to Comic-Con here, and then it got crazy crowded, and I got old, and it was...
24 is not old.
I'm 33.
Dun, dun, dun.
I just,
Gave up the goose.
Yeah, but I want to go there to go to Artist Alley,
Right.
But fighting the crowds and the ticket prices has just been, they don't call us starving artists for nothing. And that ticket price is like meal or Comic-Con.
More art supplies?
Yeah, or that.
When was the last time you went to Comic-Con?
I think 3 years ago I went, and I was there for 45 minutes. I got to go to Artist Alley, and I remember trying to get into like the main like exhibition area, because I was like, I want to go see the cool stuff too, you know, I want to go see like the video games and all that.
Right, yeah.
And I just remember I got 10 feet in, and there was a dude in, his cosplay was literally just a giant refrigerator box. And I was stuck behind him, and there was nowhere to go. And I was just like, I give up. And I turned around and I walked out. I was like, I'm done. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. But the last time I got to go before that, I went like 2 or 3 years before that, and like the Mystery Machine was there, and it was so cool, and I had such a blast, and I bought so many toys, and I spent way too much money. So yeah. But yeah. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any plans to go to another one anytime soon? Not Comic-Cons necessarily, but like after fanfare, going to any other kind of cons, events?
I mean, like someday I'd like to try San Diego, but that's a schlep and a half. There's also there's MoCA every year, which I always enjoy. A lot of my friends participate, so you know,
What's that?
It's, oh god, I don't even remember what the anagram for MoCA is.
Yeah.
Don't remember. It's something of comic and cartoon art.
Maybe we'll be able to research
Yeah,
that.
it's really cool. It's a lot of indie comic artists and indie cartoon artists selling their comic books and selling their art and prints. So it's, you know, it's your lesser knowns, and it's about supporting individual artists as opposed to, you know, supporting Marvel and DC and Disney, Pixar. Yeah.
Were you at all influenced by Marvel, DC, like those comic books, Archie comics, like things like that?
I used to draw comic books all the time. I was really into the series Bone. It's about a little skeleton man. It's great. Super cute. So much fun. It's very whimsical. I was really into that. You know, I took art classes with this guy named George, and I'll never remember his last name because
George Miller?
No. But he was a comic artist, and he was like heavily influenced by like the Conan series from the newspaper and stuff like that. So I learned a lot of like really classic comic book techniques from him, like inking styles and all that. So I had like a very eclectic comic book influence when I was younger. But I've always been like more cartoon, silly, goofy grossness.
Speaking of silly, goosey stuff, you like Star Trek, don't you?
I love Star Trek.
And the reason why is
Especially
because
the original series.
I found this.
Yes. I was going to make a Captain Kirk short where he falls in love with this weird slug woman.
And was he gonna talk like that?
Of course. How else does he talk? But it kind of fell flat and was dead in the water. But I still had the design, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And that was
I love
really
it
cool.
too.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool. Captain Kirk, huh?
Yeah. He's my fave.
He's your fave.
Yeah. I actually got to go when my best friend lives out in Los Angeles now, so I got to go to Vasquez Rocks where they shot the Gorn episode and climb the giant rock that they fought on, and it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, climb Gorn Rock.
So do you have a website people can stalk you? I mean, excuse me, find your stuff?
I do. It's ChrissyFellmeth.com.
Oh, don't make it simple.
I know.
No
right?
backslash, underscore,
No.
dot, period,
Yeah.
no?
You can go in there, you can watch my shorts, you can look at some of my illustrations, and if you want to ask me questions or reach out, there's a form on my website that you can fill out, and I'll respond to you pretty immediately.
Now, do you really answer the question?
Absolutely. It's so rare that it happens, but if I get them, I will always
Okay.
answer. Yeah.
You heard it. You heard
Unless
it
you're
first.
asking me,
You know what?
you know-
If she doesn't answer a question, can you let us know? Leave a comment. So we can be like, because I love when people say, go to our site and we'll answer questions.
Oh, I
but
totally
A lot of
will.
people don't.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
had
into it.
I had some celebrities be like, oh, just Instagram me and inbox me. Yeah, sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't get a flood of them like that, but you
Do
know,
you have
Yeah,
an
it's hard
Instagram
being at the
account?
top.
I do. It is at Great Ball.
Great Ball.
It's mostly my cats.
Oh.
So,
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
for
It's been
coming.
a pleasure.
And you're a Brooklynite.
I'm a
Right.
Queensite now.
You're a Queensite now.
Yeah, I just moved.
Traitor.
I know. I couldn't hack it down here anymore.
Are you coming back?
I hope someday if I can afford it.
We're gonna work on that off air. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
We'll get our Captain Kirk on.
Yeah.
And then, do what we gotta do. So thank you so much for
Pleasure.
coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Michael, as always, the brainchild, the knight. And I am Michael Seven Michael. Thank you so much for watching Eclecticka, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and geek media. And you can always check us out at sevnetwork.com. And again, fanfare's coming up. We're gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah, that's what it's about, man. It's about that stuff. And we're out. Thank you.